What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to DC Comics and continue our coverage over DC Batman Black Mirror. Now, this is part 3, and we're going to cover another 3-part storyline from the story arc, where a killer whale was found in a bank. And the question is, why in the world did someone put a killer whale inside a bank for? That is the big question. So if you do like today's comic book video, please leave me a like down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. To open this book, we pick up with someone talking about Gotham Global Modern Bank. This bank had only opened up 6 years ago. In those 6 years, it has become the most profitable bank in the city. $12.2 billion are being held inside this bank. The bank is of course loved by a lot of people. It opens at 8 a.m., but people get around there at 5 a.m. Except one morning when the bank opened up, in the lobby there was a dead killer whale. The question is, how in the world did a killer whale get into the lobby? But also we learned the cameras of course did not pick up anything up, which makes this case even tougher. So we find out that the person who was talking about the bank was no other than Jim Gordon, who was talking to Dick Grayson, where we can see them inside the new GCPD crime lab that Wayne Industries, Tim Drake, and Dick Grayson had donated over to the GCPD. Except the GCPD does not want to use the crime lab. Now Jim Gordon tells Dick that no one wants to use the new crime lab. Except the reason why Jim Gordon is here is to actually tell him who owns the bank, which of course is Sonia Branch, who had actually changed her name from Sonia Zuko. The reason why that name is so important is because she is the daughter of the man who killed Dick Grayson's parents, Anthony Zuko. Now Jim Gordon tells Dick that she is not like her father. With her having her mother, her mom raised her to be different and better than Anthony was. Dick Grayson still thinks something is up because it is the daughter of the man who killed his parents. Then you have Jim Gordon ask Dick to sit down and talk to James Gordon Jr. Remember that James Gordon Jr. came back in town claiming to be a better person now, and Jim Gordon can't believe that, but wants someone outside the family who has a clear mind to see if it is true that James Gordon Jr. has changed. Once that conversation is done, that is when a dead body comes out of the well. Now the victim name was Evelyn Marr, and she was a close friend to Sonia Branch, but also the personal assistant to Evelyn Marr. So she worked at the bank, meaning that maybe Sonia Branch could be into some evil stuff. Dick Grayson changed into his Batman outfit to go figure out what is going on. Now, when Batman goes there, of course, she is too scared to tell him anything because her friend died. But also the fact that she is afraid something else might happen if she tells on whoever is pulling the strings. So she makes Batman leave. Once he does, she calls up someone to tell them that she will do whatever they need her to do. This is where we see that Dick Grayson has some tech to overhear the conversation and see who she was calling. The person on the other line was a man named Bixby Rhodes. Apparently he runs a high-end car dealership, but word on the street is that he has become a gun smuggler too, one of the best in Gotham City. Now, when Batman gets there, of course, he is attacked by some people with guns. With them attacking him, he was forced into an underground department where they kept cars down there. But also then you have Bixby Rhodes begin the process of having the walls move in to crush Dick Grayson and all of the cars down there around him. Now, of course, Dick Grayson is not going to be killed that easily, where of course we see him being able to break out of the underground garage, which then leads to him fighting against some of the men who work for Bixby Rhodes, taking them down, and then goes after Bixby himself. Now, Bixby does not really tell Dick Grayson anything useful except how Bixby tried to set up shop in Metropolis, but of course was stopped by Superman. Since it happened so fast, he looks at Metropolis as a city of gods, but Gotham as a city of men. Then Batman breaks his mechanical legs and leaves. So you have Dick Grayson go back to meet up with Jim Gordon, and Jim tells Dick Grayson that Sonia Branch wants to talk to him, that she is ready to tell him everything she knows. Starting off with how she has been trying to show the world that she is nothing like her father, that the bank was doing that job, but of course she has some run-ins with some criminals. Of course, wanting to use her bank as a way to clean their money. She said no, but some criminals don't take no for an answer, one of them being Bixby Rhodes, but the other is a man going by the name Tiger Shark. He apparently could be our well killer, but he lives on a boat a couple miles away from the shore in Gotham. And so you have Dick Grayson go find the man's boat that is hiding in Gotham's Bay, where of course he does find it. Now chapter 2 closes on the fact that when Dick Grayson finds it, when he looks up, he's about to be captured by Tiger Shark. We learn that when we see that Tiger Shark has sent out some mechanical device to capture Dick Grayson and bring him in. Now we do have a small time skip, where we see that Dick Grayson is being held hostage by Tiger Shark and his men. We can see that this man is really some guy who loves clothes that have been made from the skin of animals, where he has his men explain that they are pirates and they go around bringing in artifacts from the past into the present day. Now Batman does headbutt Tiger Shark in the head, which leads to Tiger Shark showing Batman his tongue, that something is written on his tongue that states that he is the king of the sea. Then he drops Dick Grayson right in the pool with all of the sharks being held in, where of course you have Batman begin the process of finding a way out of the pool before he is eaten alive. Again, just something to show off Dick Grayson's skills as Batman. But then he proceeds to try to chase down Tiger Shark. Unfortunately, he is unable to grab Tiger Shark. Then after that, you have Tiger Shark begin the process of drowning Batman inside the base by blowing up the place that is deep in Gotham's Bay. Still though, this is Batman, where he is able to find a way out of the base and make it to the surface. This leads into Dick Grayson taking a break and keeping his promise to Jim Gordon to sit down and have a chat with James Gordon Jr. Remember that James Gordon Jr. claims that he has changed now, no longer a psychopath, thanks to some kind of meds that he is taking. So Dick Grayson goes and they catch up, bringing back old memories. Like the one time a guy named Ben Wolf from the school days used to pick on James Gordon Jr. You have James Gordon Jr. talk about how Ben Wolf has changed because James had run into him earlier. That is when he makes the statement that some people take time to truly become what they meant to be, which makes Dick Grayson realize something and leaves in a hurry. We then see him go back to Sonia Zuko, where he figured out that she had apparently messed with the cameras when it came to the time that someone put the killer well in her bank lobby. Now, it wasn't like she was working for them or anything, it was more the fact that she was scared of them, because they were sending her threats and killed her friend. Now to Batman, she slowed down the investigation because she knew it was Tiger Shark that killed her friend. but instead of telling Batman that, instead she really used Batman to take down Rixby Rhodes because he was also sending her threats. Now Batman can't take her in because he does not have hard enough proof that it was her, but to Dick Grayson, she is slowly becoming like her father, Anthony Zuko. Now, the story does close on the fact we see James Gordon Jr. going to the home of Ben Wolf, the person that actually had picked on James Gordon Jr. back in high school. Well, we see that he has been torturing Ben Wolf for a while now, and I'm not going to show the last page because it is really graphic for YouTube. But this is where we're going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. See y'all next time.